Why was His Majesty's child not loved? A question that August asked throughout the latest chapter of Fairy Tale. I mean, all you'd have to do is pry a little bit into Zeref's past, and I think you would know that, August, but we, the readers, already know that, of course, that Zeref, he can't love, and what happened with Mavis and all that other shit. If he loves somebody, he loses them, and he's killed people and blah blah blah. Like, I think August's question, while it seems like it's deeper than it actually is, it really is not that deep. It's like Zeref can't physically do that because look what happens. Now, throughout the chapter, I think it was trying to go into an interesting discussion in a way regarding, the love between parent and child, ultimately, not even just father and daughter, but the love between, parents and their child and what it means and stuff like that. I think that's where Hero was going with this whole angle of August constantly asking that question. I think August genuinely cares about majority of the Spriggan. I know he cared about Brandish, and I didn't realize up until this chapter how much he really cared about Rakid, the White Dragneel. He actually did care, and I think it bothered him to a certain degree that Rakid never got that love or that admiration from Zeref that he always wanted. He just wanted his father, like, yo, dad, can you love me or whatever, which is the case for like 99% of young male adults nowadays. It's like, dad, why don't you love me? But in all seriousness, I know a lot of people are probably like, damn, Zeref, you that cold? And I thought that was fucking sick as fuck. It's fucked up, but also it's like, Zeref don't give a shit. And you could tell where Zeref kind of prioritizes different things. It's like, Natsu is number one, and he's always going to be number one, even over his own son, which is probably just like, because we've seen the little test tube of Mavis in this chapter. More than likely, he took Mavis's DNA, and, Zeref did something there and made the clone, which is, Rakid, the White Dragneel, whatever. Like, that is a DNA baby, basically. He was a test tube baby in a sense. But nevertheless, what Zeref did at the end of the chapter, I think it was two different things. I think part of it was the fact that he ultimately got in the way, and he was trying to do something to Natsu, which he's the type of person, like, if anybody's gonna hurt Natsu, it's only going to be me. If you touch Natsu, if you do something to Natsu, I'm fucking you up, especially in front of me. How dare you? But on top of that, you're interrupting my fight. And on top of all that, it looked as though he snapped into his little crazy, oh my gosh, curse mode for a minute there. So I think a part of that took control as well, because Zeref, in essence, when he's normal Zeref, I mean, even when we very first seen little hints and inklings of him in, Tenrojima, he seemed like an okay guy. He seemed like he was sad and there was nothing he could do to change things, and he really cared about Natsu. I think he started crying when he first seen Natsu and shit like that. So he is a decent person at heart, but when that curse takes over and when you harm Natsu or you do anything to interrupt his plans, he don't give a fuck. And unfortunately, yeah, Rakid was never getting that love because he can't love. He's incapable of doing it, especially after Mavis. Like, the last thing that he loves is Natsu, and look what's going on with him. Him and Natsu are having a fight to the death right now. Which, honestly, this fight between Natsu and Zeref, it's like, it's okay. There's nothing special. I thought this would be a better fight. The first fight they had was pretty fucking awesome and intense, but then again, Natsu had that incredible power up from McNeil. He had, a little bit of McNeil's power left over. This fight really hasn't been all that. It's like blast, fight, nothing really spectacular. And also, I've seen a criticism about Mavis using telepathy, and people are saying that she never was capable of doing that before. I think she has, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see really, maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure she's used telepathy to talk to the other members of Fairy Tail a couple different times. I know they use one of the Fairy Tail members that can do that to do a, telepathy talk or whatever. I'm pretty sure Mavis has done that in the past. Maybe I'm mistaken, but yeah, people were flipping out about that. I'm like, I think she's done it. And Kana, if anything, is giving Gildarts a major disadvantage of being there and trying to jump in. It's like Gildarts is already struggling. You can tell that August has him outclassed in every way. But then on top of that, Kana's jumping in and kind of being a bargaining chip in a way, and just like, what are you doing, Kana? Can you get the fuck up out of there? You're fucking with your dad's fight. Like, Kana's kind of just like, oh my gosh, it's one of those things. It's like, you're too weak, you don't stand a chance, and all you're doing is distracting Gildarts. You can get the fuck out of there. Watch from afar. Just go away because you're ruining shit right now, girl. Like, stop. But then again, I guess that's to showcase the difference in love, and when you actually love your child. Gildarts, he's nonstop protecting Kana no matter what, and Zeref is blasting and killing his kid at the end of the chapter. It's like, Zeref, you a cold motherfucker. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be the point where we're going to see the change in the White Dragneel. And that might even change August's character. Now that I think about it, it actually could change him as well, because once that goes down in the next chapter, I'm sure Natsu's gonna say, that was your son, and go crazy, and, you know, him and Zeref are gonna go at it, and he's gonna be like, yo, if that was my son, and I don't give a fuck, why do you care? And even though that's his nephew, I'm sure Natsu don't look at him like that at all, so that might open, you know, if he still survives after this Rakid, that might open up his eyes to think like, okay, my father's a piece of shit, maybe Fairy Tail isn't so bad, and if August cares about the White Dragneel Rakid like he says, then maybe he'll also be awakened to this whole thing, which, where the fuck was Acnologia this chapter? Can you bring him back, please? Like, yo, that dude, every time he shows up, it's lit. Like, Zeref has been holding shit down, and again, what he did at the end of this chapter, it was brutal, it was violent, but, yo, can we get Acnologia back? Just saying. And honestly, to put it brief, I don't want to stretch this video out too long. It's been, you know, a simple chapter for the most part. It was a pretty damn good chapter. I mean, I did not see Zeref just killing his son like nothing. I did not see, you know, August actually giving a fuck like that about the White Dragneel, but it showcases his character as well. And yeah, I want to say again, this chapter, probably a 7.5 to an 8. Some okay progression between Natsu and Zeref's fight. Also, again, I think the White Dragneel is going to play a big part in pissing off Natsu, kind of opening up his own eyes of what his father is, opening up August's eyes, and maybe they'll all team up and Zeref is going to be fucked or something, because how many of the Spriggan are left now? They keep on getting bodied left and right, so it's only a matter of time before Zeref is completely on his own. And I'm kind of curious, first of all, the whole Mavis telepathy thing, wasn't she capable of doing that before talking to all the members of Fairy Tail? Also, what do you think about the White Dragneel? Is he going to be dead? I mean, we have seen some of the villains in Fairy Tail, you know, the actual villains, the bad guys, die, so there is a possibility there that he will be dead. And do you think that the reason Zeref did that, the reason why he killed his own son in a way, isn't necessarily just because it's normal Zeref? You think that was the curse taking over a bit? Because his eyes definitely look different after he did that, or right before he did that. Like, when he was fighting against Natsu, he was starting to get like an adrenaline rush, and it was really heating him up. You think it was because the curse completely took over, and that's why he was able to kill his son like nothing? Or it's just Zeref, like he doesn't really give a fuck? And your overall thoughts of the chapter? Again, 7.5 to an 8 for this one. I felt it was pretty damn awesome. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.